Hi guys, welcome to tonight's Cassiopeia Schooner Project Report. We are talking about refitting a huge 70-foot schooner, and then we're going to go do humanitarian stuff with it. Humans helping humans connect with each other and our planet. Yes! Yay for us. I love you. I love everything about this idea. I love everything about the ocean. I love everything about the rocks and the trees and all of that sort of stuff. And every single time I start this thing, I go like this because, you know, when COVID hit, it was like we couldn't touch each other anymore. It was really, really weird. So I came up with this way of saying hi, which is like, hi, I love you, and I'm going to send that up there, and I can't touch you, but I'm going to just do this and receive what you have to give like that. And so I believe that if you just send it up all the way into the universe, then you receive it back as well. And so there you go. Our traditional opening, because what we are trying to do is create a project that is going to spread compassion and love around the world using a 70-foot wooden schooner. So we've been working on it, so I'll quickly run you up to the bow and show you that we have got more deck on the bow, because all you guys who actually follow this all know how the progress is going. And it is, you know, of course, I just kind of slowed down in order to do this, but look at that. We've got plywood all over the whole bloody thing. Look at this. Check this out. Ready, set. This could be interesting. Okay, here we go. Ready. Look at this. Okay, once I kind of finish all of that stuff, it's obviously going to be strong enough. And we're going to put the old fiberglass back down, fiberglass it back in place, and then we'll be ready to put our bow spread on. Oh my, yes, that project was very unexpected and quite a bit more dynamic than we had hoped. Now, I've got an experiment going on. Hear that? I've been listening to reggae. It inspires me to get down to the Caribbean. I've been listening to reggae for a while now, and while I've been working, and and I'm hoping. I mean, it's uncopyrighted, so I'm hoping we can start adding some music to our presentations and make this a bit more fun. And tonight, you know, I always like to pontificate about something, right? You guys know me well enough to know that I can't just leave things alone, because tonight I want to talk about tradition, because what's happening right now and what Paul Watson is trying to stop from happening in the Faroe Islands is something that has to do with tradition. That, you know, there's a lot of cultures, including ours, that believe that we should hang on to some really, really, really seriously bad habits due to the fact that we claim we deserve to because they're tradition in our cultures. Well, this particular culture slaughters dolphins and whales, and it's and they consider it their right, and they don't even use the meat. They just kill them because they think they eat the fish, and so that means that they have less fish. So that's where this whole tradition came from, was slaughtering dolphins and whales in order to prevent them from eating the community's fish. Well, you know, that's an outdated tradition. And there's just no way around it. And there are lots of outdated traditions in our world. And in fact, guess what? There's a tradition that was involved in the country that I am also a citizen of, Vanuatu, and it involves arranged marriages. And it's still sort of intact there. However, I would love to recommend a movie for you. It's called Tanna, T-A-N-N-A, and it's about an island named Tanna that has an active volcano on it, and it has to do with a custom village in modern times, like 15 years ago, struggling with how to deal with the arranged marriage thing, because it's a bit of a Romeo and Juliet story. This couple were, you know, in love, and yet she was, you know, arranged to be married to someone else from a different tribe, and so then the tribes went to war with each other. All this kind of stuff, which you know. It's a great example of how they came to grips with the fact that maybe their tradition was something that could evolve. And I do believe that traditions like, you know, slaughtering dolphins and whales for the sake of us, you know, we think we should be able to still do that, is something that we need to look at hard in our approach to things. And so when we go to places with this amazing project, and there are sensitive and in fact, I will tell you of a tradition that we are probably not going to allow, and that's a tradition in Carriacou. Now, in Carriacou, when they launch a new vessel, they generally speaking, I'm not sure if they did it on the last one, but I'm pretty sure they did, but they slay a goat on the bow of the vessel as a sacrifice, a tradition. That's just part of the deal. Brand new boat, just been done. You slay a goat, it bleeds all over the bow of the boat. And guess what, guys? We're not going to do that. So everything about what's going on in today's world has to do with us growing up a little bit, with allowing change in ourselves, our own habits, our own traditions that we've built in with each other, and all of that sort of thing, and seeing if we can discard the ones that are just don't make sense anymore. So there you go. I'm all behind Paul Watson. I put on a different hat in order to not look quite as much like a grub, and I also just changed shirts because I was soaking wet gosh, talk about a change that has to do with us changing. We've got to learn to change and change our traditions. Like the Austin Yacht Club is no longer going to be racing in August because it's too hot. So they've decided to change that tradition. So there you go, team. We got a little bit more work done on the bow. I've got a meeting with our kind of new marketing dude tomorrow afternoon. I'm hoping that might involve actually sorry about that. I'm hoping that might involve a little sale on his overgrown laser thing that's built for two people and is even sexier than a laser. And so I'll get in touch from there probably tomorrow. Meanwhile, we do have a tradition. I really don't reckon it's that bad. And I got to give a shout out and gratitude to good old Delaware Dan, who believes in our tradition and is our Hip Hip Hooray sponsor, because he sponsored a proper drop for the captain and the Hip Hip Hooray, tradition. And so it goes like this. I'm gonna do the whole thing. It goes like this. It goes. Every good ship has traditions, and every skipper worth his salt is superstitious about said traditions. And aboard the good ship Cassiopeia, we have a tradition that we do every single time we get underway. And in fact, Cassiopeia 2 is underway towards a destiny that is absolutely astonishing. So we will do it every single time that we talk about or get together and communicate about our project and all of that sort of stuff. And so this tradition goes like this. It goes, here's to the good ship Cassiopeia. Hip hip hooray. And to her stalwart crew who just continually stick through this with me. Now, guys, I did a big reach out as far as the big picture and all of that sort of stuff, and we needed 1,000 people to respond, and we had 2, well 3 if you include Delaware Day. So I'm scratching around trying to figure out alternative ways. So if any of you guys want to get in touch with me about how you think we can, bring this whole thing to fruition, yes, sorry, admins, I'm not promoting, but financially to fruition, so that we can really get this girl underway. And I'm also about the stalwart crew. Okay, we could take this vessel sailing if I had a carpenter on board for 2 weeks, a cook and a stewardess on board for 2 weeks, if I had a video manager and a multimedia manager on board for 2 weeks. Then those 3 crew, that amount of crew. And what I'm also looking for is a blue water experienced sailor. So I know that all of you guys want to come crew, and if you do, and if you can afford to pitch in for groceries right now, because we're not in a position to do what we're supposed to do, which is provide you with groceries. Anyway, if you can come crew on the boat, then let's get it together and get it going. We are so close. So reach out to the crew for crew. Here's to the stalwart crew. Hip hip hooray. And to good old King Neptune, because it's a tradition. And you know what? This particular tradition has to do with, like, it goes past tradition into superstition, I believe. So here's to the great King Neptune. Thank you, brother, for all your help after all those years, and for the help you're going to provide when we get out there. Here's to King Neptune. Hip hip hooray. Okay, team. There you go. Whew. Yeah, this thing is driving me bonkers. I mean, there's so many. Everything that I try and do with it is, if you've ever been a carpenter, there's all these little details. Everything has to be ground to fit. Everything has to. I mean, everything has to be tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked. It's not like anything is square or anything is perfect. And so it's like, whoa, it seems to take forever to do something that's just, you know, putting down one sheet of little plywood. And so anyway, we're getting there, and that's what I mean about it being time to start getting people on board. Let's get some energy. Let's make this thing happen on that level. Whether we pull off the other thing or not, we can still do it. We can still keep progressing, just like I do every day, all by myself. We could really ramp this up if I had a little bit of help. So, okay, team, there you go. Live improv. This isn't some, you know, YouTube video, although I am posting this YouTube, so please go watch it there and subscribe. Okay, that's not promotion, admins. See you tomorrow.